Hey guys, so I told you I'd jump back on and I wanted to send you a quick little video just to explain who I am. I'm Kelly Capps and I am a level 3 independent consultant with Rodan and Fields. I've been with the company since June of 2015 and I began the business honestly because I was I fell in love with the products. I wasn't really seeking a business opportunity. At the time I was working a full-time job of over 40 plus hours a week as a public servant for the federal government. In addition to that, I have 3 children. At the time, I had 2 boys, and was in the middle of an adoption of our third. And so basically, my free time was pretty limited. My involvement with church was extremely high, and I was just trying to figure out what was the right thing for me to be doing, just day to day. So I wasn't seeking a business opportunity, to be very honest. What I was starting to notice was because of the circumstances of my life at that time and the hours I was sleeping and just the way I was taking care of myself as a whole, I noticed that I needed to start taking better care of my skin. I was starting to see the effects of not getting enough sleep and trying to do it all, and it was weathering and wearing me out, and I looked like it. So I was open to the idea of trying out new skincare. And with that, I learned a little bit about the quality and the importance of quality and the difference between what I could buy at a local store versus the premium skincare line that Rodan and Fields was offering. I tried it out and I honestly never talked about skincare so much in my life. I loved how my skin felt. I looked forward to going to bed at night so that I could put on, wash my face, which my husband thought I was crazy about, but I couldn't stop talking about it. So then, after several weeks of carrying on about skincare, my husband had actually been doing some research himself and found it, and presented me with saying, have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about the business opportunity? Have you looked at the brand recognition that they have? You would almost be crazy, Kelly, not to do this. And I kind of looked at him and thought, this is not what I'm ready for. I knew I have an entrepreneurial spirit and I'm always thinking about what I'm going to do, like what I will do someday. And this was not what was on my forefront of what I was planning on doing. But with my husband's advice, I decided to go ahead and take the leap. And I ended up calling my sponsor, whose name is Katie Ostriker, and I called her, or I texted her at probably 11:30 at night, and just basically said, okay, let's do this. I didn't really look back, and I never stopped talking about how much I love the products. And so really, when I started, it was all about just sharing. And what was happening was I was seeing what was happening with this company. I fell in love with the culture of the team. I was really seeking at the time, basically over the next year and a half, I started to experience a lot of things going on in my life. Like I said, I was in the middle of my third adoption, or my adopting my third child, my second adoption. We have a biological son that's 5. I have a 4-year-old who will be 5 this Saturday. And I have a 3-year-old that just came home from China in December. And so for me, at the time that this was happening, it was right after, it was about a year after my son came home from China. And like I said, I wasn't looking for more to do, but what I was seeking was a community of women, or a community of people that would surround me in faith. And the more I was learning about the specific team, actually our team 24, there was a lot of people that had like-minded desires. So they were either really, faithful individuals that were choosing to live a life of so. And so basically when I was talking business, we were talking about being right with ourselves, making decisions that were authentic, making sure that we were, following our faith first, putting family first, so many things and so many priorities that I had not heard in my previous employment opportunities. So it was really refreshing and exciting to be around that. In addition to that, there's several people on the team that, and some of the leadership of the team that have a heart for adoption and orphan care, like I myself. And so I immediately felt connected to this group. In fact, I would say that Sandra, that's on this, that's our connection, is adoption. And so there's so much connection among our team with similar life values, and that was so big to me. On top of this driven, um, just passionate people that were out to make big change in this world for the greater good of people, not just skincare. I mean, it's kind of cliche to say that this company is more than just skincare, but it is. It truly is changing lives. And so when our our tagline for Rodan and Fields is life changing skincare, I will tell you I've personally seen it and experienced it. Um, so for me, Rodan and Fields has become more about creating, like following my God given gifts and my God given desires and passions and calling. I was experiencing a time in my life over the last year and a half where I was physically ill, um, more times than I could explain, and with no known factors. Basically, every doctor I went to said that everything was fine, and yet I knew I wasn't fine. I knew I was not okay until I finally found somebody that basically looked me in the eye and said, Kelly, what you are experiencing is real. I will give you that what you're experiencing and the way that your body feels is real. But what you're explaining to me is something that, as a physician, I cannot fix. And we talked a little bit about my values and faith. And basically, what it came down to is she said, you are in a place where it sounds like you have a great job and you believe that. But it does not sound like it's your God given purpose. And so until you can get in a place where you can follow that purpose, I think the stress that you're incurring that is causing the pain in your body is not going to go away. And that was an aha moment for me. I mean, literally life changing. It made me really evaluate what was my priorities, where my relationship with God really was, and what I felt or knew that my given purpose was for him. So I say all of that because it is so important to where I am today. In July of 2016, I stepped away from a 10-year career. That was a great job, guys. I had a great boss, great flexibility, made great money. But I was in a place that was so far from where I needed to be or where God's plan is for me to be that it wasn't right for me. So my husband and I made the decision that I would step away. And then I will tell you, my life started to transform before my eyes. Rodan and Fields, as far as becoming my side job, something that I definitely did grow huge while I was working full time, became something that has become a vehicle that allowed me to step away from a full time career and giving me still my outlets that I need, my community that I need, because I know, as much as I know it's important for me to be home with my kids, I also know how I tick, and I need to have that 9 to 5 or a job or a career somewhere, and being able to do this on my time around our schedule and not miss a moment of my kids. I'll be really honest, guys. I have by the time we brought home our second child that was adopted, and having 3 kids under 5, just knowing those kids specifically, being back in the work environment with a 9 to 5 and using daycare, it just wasn't an option for our family. At the time, I didn't know that, but God did, and I was able to make that decision. So I'm here to say that Rodan and Fields is something different for everybody. For me, it was a vehicle for change and a vehicle for my dreams. My passion is being an advocate for the orphan and being an advocate for those that have no voice. So human trafficking prevention is also at the top of that list of things that I'm very passionate and involved in. And I believe that Rodan and Fields is not only an amazing company with like-minded people that are doing very similar things, but it's a vehicle that is allowing me to be able to pursue those other passions at the fullest. So I just want to say thank you for jumping on. That's just a little bit about me and why this business has been so transformational. And I hope to get to know each one of you. So I look forward to hearing more. And please, if I can help you with anything, or if you have any questions, let me know, because I'd love to hear your stories. And if there's any way I can help you to find your passion or kind of figure out that leap, or if you want to know more about how I have used Writing in Fields to be that vehicle, I'd love to share that with you. Have a great night, guys.